Ask Reddit by Winsus. What cover songs are better than the original? Natalie Imbruglia's version of Torn. Blew my mind that it was a cover. Didn't find out until over a decade since it came out. Crazy by Patsy Cline. Better performed and most people just assume she was the original. It was actually Willie Nelson's song he wrote and performed first, but just didn't have the same impact as her singing it. Willie wrote it and recorded a demo which he eventually sold to Patsy Cline, who had the first release of the song. Willie released it himself on an album the following year. Jimi Hendrix's All Along the Watchtower is much better than Dylan's. Even Bob Dylan himself admitted that Jimi's version was better. Because the Night by Patti Smith. It was originally a Bruce Springsteen song that he wrote and performed, but for whatever reason, gave it to her. I heard the Springsteen E Street Band's original spin on it, and although it's amazing, Smith's rendition is a thoroughly. Edit. According to the responses, turns out, it wasn't exactly a cover song, but was actually co-written by both Smith and Springsteen. However, due to either legal issues facing Springsteen, or his inability to complete it, he passed the song on to Smith, and it's largely synonymous with her. The 10,000 Maniacs version also is incredible. They might be giants Istanbul, not Constantinople. The original is just very cheesy, and the singing sounds very flat and stilted compared to TMBG, almost like what a little kid sounds like when singing. Till that's a cover. Believe It or Not by George Costanza's Answering Machine. The little shrug he does at Where Could I Be is comedic mastery. Tainted Love by Soft Cell. I love the radio edit where it seamlessly goes into their cover of Where Did Our Love Go. Santana's version of Black Magic Woman, originally by Fleetwood Mac. Also, and this will be contentious, Poi Como Va. It's Tito Puente's song, and his original version is awesome. I could listen to it all day, but Santana brings a whole new dimension to it. Ram Jam Black Betty. Wait till you hear Spidebait's version. Love that every time this gets asked on Reddit you can sort by controversial and without fail Sound of Silence by Disturbed will be right there at the top. Actually the top 5 controversial are all Sound of Silence LMAO. The Clash's version of I Fought the Law. Though not a true cover, I'd add the Dead Kennedys version as well. Take Me to the River by Talking Heads. Anyway, $4 a pound. Janis Joplin Me and Bobby McGee by Chris Christopherson in the Beginning. Although Christopherson's version is excellent, Janis' vocal performance elevated it. Johnny Cash's version of Christopherson's Sunday Morning Coming Down beats the original too. Jeff Buckley covering Lilac Wine. I prefer his version of Hallelujah. Sea of Love Cat Power version. Agreed. Didn't know it was a cover for a long time, and once I found that out it remained my favorite version. Her voice, the simple strumming, just everything fits the whole tone of the song so well. Rage Against the Machine's Renegades of Funk is far better than the original. Everything on the album is great honestly. Imagine being told in the 70s 80s that a rap rock group in the year 2000 would create a cover album of many songs released around that era in the style of their own third album and it'd actually be a great album. Feelin' Alright Joe Cocker. Also his version of The Letter absolutely smokes the original. Kurt Cobain's cover of the Meat Puppets songs on Unplugged. Lake of Fire. The Wiggles Elephant. https://www.youtube.com/watch?they13WNQSRC5G originally by Tame Impala. It does not have the right to be as funky and awesome as it is. When I first found this I just laughed and then I pressed play and I was like, oh damn, okay, the Wiggles need to collab with Tame Impala. Deleted. Valerie sung by Amy Winehouse. So much so that everyone forgets the Zootons ever even tried. This cover is so good that you can slow it down to half speed to get a second really good cover. I think Always on My Mind by Pet Shop Boys is amazing. Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Israel Kamakoy. Well, didn't he also record it in one take at like 1 AM after the studio was supposed to be closed, but he called and was very nice, so they let him in. I really love Nirvana's cover of Bow is the Man Who Sold the World. They played it in Plugged Live from New York. They recorded an entire album for that show and it's great. Methinks. I also slightly prefer their version of Jesus Doesn't Want Me for a Sunbeam. I do love the original very much, but man, the Nirvana version is just so melancholy. George Harrison Got My Mind Set on You, originally written and sung by James Ray. All Along the Watchtower. Written as kinda an acoustic folk song by Bob Dylan, turned into a rock anthem by Jimi Hendrix. All of this has happened before, and it will happen again. Deleted. The band Atlantic City. Nirvana's cover of Where Did You Sleep Last Night. Basically every cover they performed during the MTV Unplugged session was pure gold. We met Kurt at his primordial best, where his disdain for everything met his talent, met his desire to perform. That performance sums up Kurt tragically and beautifully. Eddie Vedder's cover of Hard Sunday. You just blew this PJ fan's mind. Next you're going to tell me Last Kiss and Crazy Mary aren't original.